Hey there, toy collector friends and Corgi fans alike, and James Bond fans alike as well. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time travelling toy collector, and in this video we're looking at another very recent Corgi release, but it's one of their retro cars. Now, the beauty of this is, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that they've already released a replica of their original Corgi DB5 Aston Martin as it appeared in Goldfinger and other films. And I have already had a look at that one and unboxed it. And what's fascinating is that this is a bit of an evolution of Corgi, because this is how it arrived. The last one arrived much like the Batmobile and the Batboat, you know, in its own little cardboard box. This has arrived in what to me is just as fascinating as the vehicle itself. It's sort of a prototype version of the clear plastic bubble that that toys would sort of move into before having that merge between box and bubble. So it has that similar sort of platform that was sitting inside the original box, and it has a backdrop, although albeit this backdrop is much bigger, and you can see it has the gap in it there to be hung on display. So when these were in the shops, they were either flat on this or they were hung there. But this is the new James Bond Aston Martin, and it's new in many, many ways. Obviously, it's not that new. We're not talking No Time to Die Aston Martin, but it is a beautiful piece. Now, I've not taken it out of the packaging yet, but I have had an examination of the packaging, and we'll have a look at that in a second, because I saw something that really freaked me out and made me a little bit cross, and I'm going to show you that in a second. But this is how it arrived, and immediately I thought, oh my god, there's some packaging missing, because it's just literally arrived like this, with some, you know, some stuff around the edges to keep it safe, but it's arrived like this, me thinking it was going to come in a box. So it hasn't come in a box. It's come, as I say, it's come like this. And the stuff that sort of freaked me out a bit was, if you look down here, you can see there's some what looks like tears. If you look here, you can see there's what looks like tears in the backdrop. And I was like, oh my god, I can't actually believe this. And there's none on this side. I was really quite gutted, because I thought, oh my god, don't tell me I'm going to have another negative experience. But I don't think it's the negative experience I thought I was having. So hold that thought for now, because what this actually is an incredible piece of origami, or to almost. So this was number 270, James Bond's Aston Martin DB5. You can see that there. This is some of the modern info for the packaging, but you can see everything is sort of folded up and tabbed in, including this extensive back section here, which folds around. Now it shows us here the information about what, well, we've got the bumper overriders there, and the machine guns. We've got the ejector seat and the little guy. We've got the bulletproof shield. We've got the extending shredders from the wheels. And we've also got, I think, yeah, the rotating license plate again, which was such a surprise to see in the last one. We are told again here that it has secret instructions, and they are down here, and that points to this section here, which is where they were kept before, if you remember, in the previous one. If you don't remember, I'll put a link in the description. You can go and check out that DB5 as well, because it is a beautiful piece. But you can also see how this is different, because that DB5 came out of the box, and it is that original bronze colour, almost gold looking, ironically, for a film, for the Goldfinger film. But this is the more accurately coloured silver, but retaining a golden grille. So the man with the golden grille. No? Okay, fine. Bumper and the around the what's it called? License plate. And a gold bumper here at the back as well. And you can see the license plate's actually in between license numbers, which is amusing. Nice red details there. You can see we've got the ejector seat panel there. We've got the... Have we got both figures in there? It looks a bit like we have, actually. I can't see properly because it's... yeah, I think we have. It looks like the ejector seat guy is sitting in there, but he's got a bit loose. But we'll sort that in a second. So anyway, this is the packaging, and it undoes in a bit like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. So this pulls out here, which then lets you that lets you slide this out here. And then having slid this out here, that gives you access to these flaps, which then open there and there, which you can then put this back under there. I know this is not unboxing yet, but look, it then gives you this display option. So you can then sort of open up these side panels, which is, if you remember, or if you're familiar with Corgi, old school Corgi boxes, that was part of the display end. So when this was all folded over and wrapped around the product in the cardboard box, much smaller than this, this is what you could then have. You could have this opened out looking like this. You've still got the car in the plastic bubble though. And, you know, increasingly, this sort of thing really, well, not upset me, but it makes it really challenging, because if you want to get the product out, you want to be able to do it in such a way that doesn't necessarily cause all manner of disruption and terror and decimation to the highly detailed. I mean, this is beautifully reproduced Corgi toys, not marketed, it's packaging, simple as that, packaging. And you can see you've got the old Corgi Toys logo there. We've got packed with the more exciting features. So you've got the opening roof and ejector seat, which isn't more. The rear bullet screens, not more. The telescopic overriders that come out the front, that's not really more. Retractable machine guns. And here we've got the revolving number plates, the rotating, the plated bumpers and radiator, which is the gold plated, and the tyre slashing blades on the rear tyre there. So again, you know, it's a lovely piece. It's a lovely piece. So remember, I was complaining about these cuts and things in here. So if you come back to, if you come back to here and we reopen this again gently, such a thing is possible. There we go. Lo and behold, we have another flap. There's another flap built in here. Now this flap is where this tear has happened. So I think this hasn't been cut properly by the manufacturers, or there's been some glue spillage, which is what's caused that. Because if you lift this flap up, it gives you instant pull-out access, he says. He says, well, it should. The implication is it gives you instant pull-out access to this part of the product. So you should be able to wangle getting this out of the box. Now, you need to be patient because I don't want to trigger anything getting damaged. Maybe gravity will help, and it does. So there's the car. I don't think this is stuck on anything, unless it is. Yes, the glue has spilt onto this as well. Sorry, that's me trying to take a close look. Secret instructions are tucked on the inside there, and the only way you can access them is by getting this. Oh, here we go. There we go. Nice and gently gets us there in the end. So secret instructions. And I'm a real sucker. Let me just close this up, and close this up for now. So again, we haven't had to damage that packaging, which is far more important to me than the little rip there and there. I can live with that, considering. But we've been able to get the product out without damaging that. So for me, that's a win. So let's pop this in hand over here. It's also got a nice bit of suspension, which you don't often see. So here we go. Secret instructions are on the inside. You can see the indentations where the wheels go. So again, it's relatively easy. Top secret documents, how exciting. It's relatively easy, he says, to go in. And again, I think I'm going to deploy my tweezers here, because I do not want to damage the design of this. So if I do that and then just tease it up, it doesn't tear any of the flaps. So we can open all of that up, and then tucked away inside, nothing wants to come out from here. Empty. Right, so tucked away inside, we won't bother trying to put it in shot. are 007 secret instructions. And luckily, one end of this is not sealed, so we can happily just pull everything out. What's inside? Anything else? And a little man. I'm going to sit him here for a second. Again, so small. So small. So the instructions we get here. Now, I think the last one came with a... what's this? I was going to say the last one came with like a sticker and a tattoo thing. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is interesting, he says, disappointed. One of my curses: to remove required item, bend the ship. Right, so what the... Okay, so this is interesting. I'm not going to do... If you're looking for this to happen in this video, it's not going to. Right, so this is all of the license plates. So you get front and back. Yeah, front and back, and there are 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 variants. Okay, sorry. I don't know. It's because I don't know why I got myself lost in that then for a second. I was just... I think I was actually imagining the trauma of trying to put them on, because they... I don't know if you can see them all there. If I zoom in a little bit more, you might be able to see the various different... come on, camera, sort it out. The various different license. So we've got JB007GB, so James Bond 007, Great Britain. But then there's some other license plates there as well. So that's neat. It's neat that it comes with this. The original one, it was on the license plate. We didn't have to faff about with putting on stickers. This may have been from a time where we had the dawn of the age of stickers, and people started to, because it was probably cheaper for the company. Was it, I wonder? But, you know, I think kids, I think at the time, quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed it in the 70s and the 80s, getting like a new Action Man, Action Force, G.I. Joe kit, and having to put the stickers on, building it and having to put the stickers on it. It's only sort of now, as I've got a bit more long in the tooth, that I don't enjoy putting stickers on. So I don't know whether that's a me thing or an age thing or what it is. But I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that one. So we get the stickers. We also... Oops, this has just dropped off. We also get a James Bond 007 sticker to go on a lapel or a shirt. Very, very 1960s. Look at that. Screams 1960s. That's nice. And we have the instructions. 007 special agent identification. Yeah, that's the secret lapel thing that you can put under your lapel. And there's the various instructions. So thing 1 opens up, activates those. 2 activates that. 3 activates that. 4 is the rotating thing. Press the exhaust pipes to activate the bulletproof shield. And on the back, top secret instructions, James Bond operating instructions for your Aston Martin DB5. I mean, the attention to detail to reproduce these is brilliant. Now, whether or not I will put the stickers on at some point, I can't comment. I probably will, because, you know, it kind of needs them, doesn't it? If we're brutally honest, it needs them. So let's get back to the main event, as it were. And we can see already that it's covered. It's got a bit of a protective. I'm just going to pull out slightly for the sake of focusing. It has got a protective plastic cover on it. Let's hope this is relatively easy to dismantle. I would have thought it would be. Or maybe it's taped. Maybe we can just slide it off. Or am I asking too much? Yeah, I think there's tape on it there. I thought it was just going to sort of fit into a thing, but I think we might be able to just... Oh, yeah, I can see the tape now. Just trying to... All right, so if I do, there we go, and it just springs open. We'll keep it safe. We'll keep it safe for now till I get it lost. And so here we go. Now this is beautiful. You can't tell me it's not beautiful. I love the silver grille. I love the silver, body deco, and the golden grille. We can see that there are, it's like a little pinwheel thing there to move the license plate. This doesn't seem to be any easier than the last license plate. Let's just see if it responds well to my tweezers. It doesn't really. Oh, maybe a little bit. Very stiff. See, I wouldn't want to muck about with that. What about the rear? You see, the rear one is much looser, spins around quite freely. We've got, what's we've got underneath? The new James Bond Aston Martin DB5. It's still that same sort of Corgi size. So that, again, the one that I had, which was this colour but without the gold bits, again, still a little bit larger scale. So we're still on this kind of scale in this period of Corgi. I think these just pull out. I'm now looking at these, the wheel things here. I'm assuming they, there you go. Yeah, so they literally just pull out. Let's hope this one is as easy to, yeah, there you go. There we are. So they pull out like that, so they can chew up any Corgi cars that are driving alongside next to it. I do like that. I do like that little feature. I also, right, so let's see. I also am hoping this is all nice and working. So we're going to activate this, which should activate the overriders and the machine guns. And it does, and there they are. And how fabulous is that? And I'm immediately transported back to hours of fun as a kid. They're very stiff going back inside, just as an FYI. This is what should activate the bulletproof screen. It does, and this is interesting because I don't know if you can see that, but there's no detailing on the bulletproof screen, which is more in keeping with the film. Actually, the version that I had as a child had, I think, panels, and it was actually thinner and more flimsy than this. That's quite robust. And then, of course, the big finish, which I'm going to open carefully here because the figure, if you can see in there, is sprawling a bit. There's James Bond, but the figure seems to be lying across him a bit, so we won't ask what's going on, because you know, gentleman never tells. But let's see if I can trigger this, because I'm worried that how he's in there might actually compromise the seat mechanism, and I think it is, because it's not letting me. Oh, hang on, there we go. Right, yeah, so he's sitting funny. So we get two little men, so that's always good. So let me pop him, I don't know if you can see that. So inside you can see James Bond wearing a long tie, not his bow tie, in his suit. The little man we can fit in there. I don't know what the interior looks like. So you've got so it's all moulded in red. Now, I was very fortunate a little while back to actually drive a converted film copy of the DB5. I was at one of these. I've got some photos of it on my Instagram. I was away at it's Car Heroes, something like that, and they had a lot of movie cars and throughout time, and TV cars, like the Batmobile, the 1966 Batmobile, and KITT, and the A-Team van, and Optimus Prime, and from the Bayverse movies, and all those sort of things. And you can drive them for a fee. You get a chance to drive them around a course. And one of the ones that I drove a few. It was a fantastic day, actually. And one of the ones I drove was the Aston Martin, and it's a really uncomfortable car because it was the old one. It was proper old one, manual, no assisted power steering. It was you know, of its time, shall we say, and it was an absolute nightmare to drive. But it was kitted out with all the 1960s spy gear was on display on the dashboard. It was fantastic. But it did have like a sort of plush interior, and yeah, that just reminded me. So anyway, we've plopped the bad guy in there. We'll close that up. He's now driving alongside 007. He's pulled his gun on him. Let me pop that there. We'll move this guy out the side. I will just say, I know I mentioned it earlier, there's a real nice spring to those wheels, and they do roll really well because, again, you've got rubber. You've got your legitimate rubber tyres there. and it rolls beautifully along there, very, very nicely. So we're in a confined space, so this should be okay. So ejector seat, he says, pew, there it goes. It's not too right, so there's a bit of it's not the handling, it's not the thing, it's my handling of it. I'm being too cautious. And it's nice because the spring isn't so wild that it goes flying up and melts in the lights. But I think that's it's just a beautiful rendition of this car. And again, it just illustrates just how wonderful and how lucky we are at the moment to have the likes of Corgi and the Corgi Club producing all their new stuff that they're producing, which is fantastic and great. But also that they're going back and they are producing some of these vehicles for us. Be it the Batmobile, be it this. They've got one of the ones that's slated for later in 2026, something I've never had, but it's the Green Hornet. It's the Black Beauty from Green Hornet. And I'm going to definitely get that ordered because I think that's going to be beautiful. And I will be keeping my eye out for any other particularly attractive items. So let me know, please, in the comments down below what you think of this Corgi model. Did you have the original? Have you picked this up? Do you like it? Have you had any issues with yours? Maybe yours has been a bit more troublesome than mine. Mine's been fine. If you have got it, are you going to apply the stickers? Do you think stickers are a good idea? Do you go, oh my God, why aren't the stickers just on there? We paid enough for this. What do you think of the retro packaging? I am a fan of, as you can probably undoubtedly tell, that I am quite the fan of the retro packaging. So, you know, for me, it's quite busy, you know, and I get that it's quite a busy bit of thing. But, you know, this was marketing back in the sort of 50s, 60s, well, not quite the 70s, really. We were a bit more marketing savvy, I suppose, then. But you go into toy shops, this is what it was like, you know. No, I wasn't there. I wasn't alive in the 60s. But with what I've seen of old toys, sort of in museums and in very, very sort of niche collector shops, where you can find stuff that has survived back from those periods. This was it, you know. You could use it hitting you with primary colours, hitting you with exciting action features, listing stuff on the front, you know, rather than letting us, they're doing a real tell not show because you can't get to the vehicle. And I really love it. I love the period of it. You know, I love the set, everything to do with it. I think it's really fantastic. And I love that they give us the everything is tucked away inside here for the secret instructions, you know. So I think that's really, really nice. I think that the fact they're using the original Corgi typeface, everything is so beautifully period, that for me, I just think we're on a complete winner with Corgi at the moment, with what they're producing and what they're doing. I think it is absolutely splendid, and I'm a massive fan of everything that we're seeing from them. Is there anything you're looking forward to, or is there anything that you want to see that they haven't yet announced, or that you're not aware of the fact they've announced? I mean, I'm not an aficionado by any stretch of the imagination around Corgi. I'm just one of those people who annoyingly, I like what I like. And I know, you know, when I see something that I like, I know it. So, you know, for me, it's quite straightforward in that front. But I do appreciate that for some people, they collect every Corgi thing going, and quite right too. You know, that would have been me growing up. Got to have the next one and the next one. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thanks for sticking with me for the last 20 minutes or so. I've been the Triple TC. If you've enjoyed looking at this with me, please do drop a like to the video if you haven't already. And if you are one of the people who drop in to watch these but don't subscribe to the channel, I'm really trying to get to my first subscriber milestone of the year. It would be fantastic if you could be a part of me achieving that by dropping a subscription to the channel. Now, it's completely free, and to be fair, it doesn't matter when you're watching this, because I have 3 milestones that I set for myself across the year. So whenever you're watching this, your free subscription will help me be propelled towards my next milestone. So total appreciation if you can do that. And if you do, drop a comment down below to let me know you've subscribed. And when I get that notification, I'll come along and thank you personally, because honest to goodness, I know I say it and other YouTubers say it, but it really is, you know, it's for you that we do this, and it's for sharing our love of these things. So when people want to follow you, want to see what you're going to share next, honestly, I can't describe what that feels like. So I am absolutely committed to making sure that I thank every single person that lets me know that they've subscribed. And all those people who have subscribed and haven't told me, big thanks to you as well. Anyway, that's all from me for this video. I'll be back in another video very soon, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been a fantastic companion whilst I've been looking at the new James Bond Aston Martin DB5 retro edition from Corgi, as they're reliving their glory days. Corgi Toys version via the Corgi Collectible Club, but I'm sure you can get it direct if you are not a member of the Collectible Club. And I will see you really soon. Take care, and please remember that things of beauty really are toys forever. Take care. Bye-bye for now.